Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're jumping back down into the world of XRP to take a look at what's been going on most recently, what we'd expect to happen next and all those wonderful things. As we get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Okay, let's dive right down into this. XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is our data source. So following on from the previous video, we were a little bit wrong, okay, and basically you cannot underestimate the power of FOMO apparently, but this is running out of momentum fast. Okay, so let's talk about what happened just a couple days ago. We're talking about this area here. This is a typical area that you'd normally see a breakdown from, but we basically pushed all the way through the resistance lines here and smashed past, then confirmed the resistance as support and then continued. Now the thing with this is we can kind of acknowledge that this looks very much like, let me see if I can find my actual tool here, grab an arc, looks like a cup and handle. Let me just show you what this looks like. Right, so here's our cup, and then over this side here we have ourselves our little handle. Now I will put this potentially somewhere around here as a breakout. Hard to see exactly where it's going to go, but approximately here you kind of see this little cup and handle. I mean, you could argue maybe it's up there. It's not exactly straight lines or anything like that, but you can kind of see it in here. And basically from here we broke to the upside, which is pretty good. Now normally this has a target of 1.618 of this kind of level. Okay, so we take a look at this this area here, and then we start to scale it up, right? So if we start to take this and we take it from this side here, we take it down to this one, we can see here that even this pushed past this 1.618 target of a cup and handle. So it's absolutely been flying, and we can see this on multiple different levels. However, we are starting to see things kind of reverse on us a bit, and this is a bit of something that we've been expecting for a while. So let's actually just zoom out. You can kind of see three-wave structure. This should have been here. We pulled back, okay? We're looking at this, and we should have had a three-wave structured move. And it does, like I said previously, right, our minimum expectation was met, but we should have potentially have come down lower on a typical kind of structure. So it ends there, and then we start to really get this traction to the upside, okay? Now, with this, we can acknowledge that there's actually a few things going on in this little area here. I don't think this is over just yet, but we'll see how things go. And let me just take this off for a second, right? I want to talk about this because this is a very unusual kind of structure to it, right? Until you start thinking about what's going on down here. Okay, so when we start to actually think about this in a little bit more detail, we can kind of see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and then that is 5, okay? And that doesn't even look like it's finished. It looks like it's overextending. So when we start to dive into this fifth wave, what do we see? Well, we can start to see this little structure here. We can go 1, 2, up here for 3, down here for 4, and we're still looking for 5. Okay, so that fifth wave I don't think has come in just yet, and we're still just waiting to kind of see if we can push it a little bit higher before we can start to really pull back in a more significant way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we don't want to get confused, right? We are not in a bull market, we are in a bear market, and although there is a lot of FOMO and a lot of hype around everything that's going on with the SEC, the lawsuit, and the Ripple and over that kind of stuff, we can't get too carried away with ourselves, okay? So our targeted range for this fifth wave, as it stands at the point of recording this video, is 42.93 through to about 43.77. Okay, that's going to be the sweet spot right there for the fifth wave. Now, it can go higher, it can go lower, all depends on where the liquidity is. Basically, we are seeing liquidity grabs occurring here. Basically, as people think that the move is finished, pockets of, or they basically go short on the market and pockets of liquidity open up slightly higher. Now, the structure that has formed here allows us to understand that there is going to be one more surge upwards unless proven otherwise. Invalidation of this structure happens right down here, okay, at 39.35. So if this fourth wave was to come down lower, then it's not. We're not having any more upward move. We're done. Okay, so we want to be really close, really careful, watching, finger on the pulse of what is going on. Okay, but one of the things that we're very, very clear about is that this structure, this entire structure, is not bullish, okay? This entire structure is very much corrective, and there's far too much overlap going on here to be thinking that we're trending to the upside, okay? So the FOMO is small, the volumes are not massive, there's pockets of volume coming in, but it isn't massive at all, okay? And biggest concern that we have really comes in the form of the stochastic and where that sits. On this hourly chart, it's nice and high, it's kind of pulled back, and you can see here that it moved up quite rapidly without doing too much in the way of decrease in the stochastic, but the price has moved quite a bit. Okay, that's not going to give us a huge amount of confidence in the price action. Okay, we can also see that over here we were oversold. We moved up really strongly to the overbought. We corrected down, and when we corrected down into this wave 4, we actually corrected our stochastic RSI nicely. But at the moment, this isn't happening. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this stochastic and how it relates to this price, because if this slowly grinds its way down, then there's a chance that this whole thing reverses on us very, very quickly. Okay, now as we come up into the 4 hourly, you can see there's still room to go. Okay, so this supports this theory that we're going to have this kind of 5th wave high point just to take our stochastic up into the overbought range. Okay, so the 4 hour can still go up. The 8 hour, very much the same. We are not in the overbought area yet, so our little area just up here where we can start to see a 5th wave high is still very viable. It's possible, right? We should be very concerned about that. The daily is overbought. Okay, there is nothing bullish about the structure here on the daily chart, and we should be, concerned. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the macro on the daily. And we're going to pull this over, and here you can see there's a potential theoretical high point of the 1-to-1 ratio coming in here at 44.49. Okay, that's going to basically mark up a 3-wave structure on our daily, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can see a slight push higher. So that 5th wave, if it overextends in itself, then we might even push like that 44.49. After which, though, there isn't much more to it, and we are going to be looking at moves to the downside. Now, I do want to kind of just focus in on this little area here, because it does mean that there's a potential move happening just here, okay, that could basically indicate that we are slightly more bullish. And I say that's actually probably what is going on right there. Okay, so it looks like this is a wave 3 move, which means we're going to have to call off for a wave 4, and we're going to have to then pull this back down and then go up again. Okay, so this looks like 5 waves at the moment. I'm going to just quickly mark up invalidation. Invalidation is set at 36.22. Okay, let me just put that back there. So we know we have a potential 44.49, and we know that we've got an invalidation area of 36.22, and we're currently trading at the point of recording this video at 40.46. Let me break this down. There's a lot of numbers. Right, we're in a 3rd wave push upwards on our daily chart. Okay, let me show you. So basically, we go 1, 2, this is 3. Okay, we're looking for 4. We're then going to go to 5. Okay, so everything that's happening on our kind of hourly chart, think of that as our wave 3 move. Okay, that wave 3 move to the upside, and then we're going to look for that call off period, okay, as per the 4 hour, the 8 hour, the hourly chart, and then we're going to hopefully try to gravitate towards this area here. However, this 4th wave cannot cross wave 1, so if the price comes down before going up to 44.49, then we are essentially going to be looking out for 36.22, right, if we cannot cross this level. Crossing this level basically means we can't push up higher under this structure. So keeping a close eye on that, okay, but we are waiting for a wave 4. That could be what's happening now. It could actually be, in my opinion, something that happens a little bit later, because I don't think wave 3 is finished yet, and then we'll kind of adjust it. But there is a high point here. There's a maximum level that we can push this to. 44.49 seems to be that higher range. I'm not expecting it to go higher than that, which means that if this is a 3-3-5 corrective structure, we are going to be moving down quite a bit afterwards, okay, because this is not a bull run. This is just a corrective structure here, taking us down deeper. And on our daily chart, guys, this is obviously playing quite a pivotal role. Okay, so we are looking to pull this down, as I said many times before, 23 to 26 cent, and that's pretty much aligned to our daily. Our weekly chart also in an overbought area. We know that the last time that this was overbought, guys, we were all the way up here. This could potentially be a pretty big catalyst and a pretty big move to the downside to be had here on our weekly time frame, let alone that of our daily time frame as well. We start to really think how many times we've been up here and what happens with that. And of course, we should be very mindful over all of this move here that looks like it is basically our kind of wave. It will be a wave 3 scenario. Okay, so just keep a close eye on that, and we're looking pretty strong. Okay, so ultimately, my expectations are expect extreme volatility. Okay, expect this little push up higher on our hourly chart, the immediate kind of future, 42 to 43 cent. Then expect a big pull to the downside. Then expect another push to the upside, heading towards 44.49 cent, which would then potentially complete our daily 5-wave structure, where then we've completed 3 waves and we can expect a much larger drop to the downside. Everything otherwise is actually looking pretty comfortable. We can see that the hourly stochastics moving down nicely, and so we do expect some more volatility on the hourly chart. Guys, I'm going to leave that video right there. If you found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.